Hey guys, this is Tea Time with Trottie, presented by Golf Galaxy. The man stood next to me needs absolutely no introduction. He is one of the most iconic athletes in the world, and today we're on the 18th at Silverleaf. We're going to go through what he does to master this golf hole. Tricky tee shot.
Yeah.
Beautiful tee shot.
Yeah. Long hole. I mean, 18, it's like 470 from back here. Elevated tee box. I'm probably trying to hit it towards the far two bunkers on the left. Either kind of like right in that gap of the mountains or as far left as that cactus on top of the tree.
Yeah. I love how specific you are. That's great.
For here, I mean, I know where I want to be on this hole. Left center of the fairway is kind of a good angle in, depending on where the stick is. And if you're anywhere towards those traps, you're like 190 in.
Okay.
So
the driver gives you the confidence, you think, and the fitting is giving you confidence, the knowing that it's right?
Without question. You know, I have the ability now to stand on any par 4, any par 5, and have an idea of where it's going to go. You know, I think in the past it was kind of just a guess. It was kind of a hope and hit, where now I can kind of pick and choose where my targets are and feel confident and comfortable standing behind the ball and knowing that I'm going to be able to make a good swing that's going to give me a chance to play the golf hole.
What was the biggest thing you learned from your experience of going for the fitting? Yes, this confidence now that you know, but was there anything you took away from it that perhaps people watching this who want to go to Golf Galaxy will get when they come out of that experience?
So it's kind of crazy. I was playing a 43.5-inch shaft.
Really?
So I was playing a shorter shaft because my arms are super long, so I just thought that was what I should be doing, and we were trying to play with different length drivers throughout my history of this game. And I ended up finding that I could hit that one a little better. And I've been playing with that for, I don't know, probably 3 years or so, and I wanted to try 1.5 inches longer.
So back to standard length?
Back to standard length, and honestly, like, it feels normal, where I think before it felt super long and uncomfortable. So I think, again, just having a better understanding of how I play the game, and then being able to find the right club for my swing.
Do you think a lot of that is your personal development as a player as well, and the fact that you got fitted before and then went back and revisited the process?
I mean, throughout my career, I've probably had maybe 8 to 10, 8 to 12 different fittings, because I'm always changing, right? My game is always improving, my strength is improving, my speed is improving. So with all of that, I want to make sure I have the right sticks to go with it.
Okay, let's see what you got here. So we're going for cactus is the left aim point and right edge of the second trap is the right aim point. I love it. That's a golf shot. Lovely shot. That's out there. Good. Awesome.
That's perfect.
It's perfect, he says.
That'll
like
play.
that.
That'll play.
It went from being perfect to that'll play.
I mean, hey, perfect. We all know what perfect is.
Do you think this game, the fact that perfect is so difficult, do you think that's what brings you back?
Probably, yeah. You know, like the chip, you know, like the first chip. You know, like I have chips like that throughout the round. I'm like, all right, what time tomorrow, boys? Here we go. And tomorrow, but that's the crazy thing, like tomorrow might be completely different. You know, like as we were saying, like I might come out the next day and not be able to find the center of the face. So it's like, how can you then change what's happening in the round to get by, right? Like maybe it's, you know, back to where we were saying, taking more club and taking sawed off shots, right? Like how can you manage the round? How can you survive in the round when things aren't going well?
What I'm learning from that is that Michael Phelps is one of us.
Obsessed.
That's what I'm learning. Just as obsessed as the rest of us are. Okay, little draw, see if we can do this. Would you hate that self-talk? See if we can do this. What would be your self-talk? Because that leaves room for...
Make a good swing. Just make a good swing.
Be you, right?
Yeah.
What can you control?
Yeah. So make a good swing. Be athletic. Right?
Yeah, I like that one.
Be athletic.
I struggle with that sometimes. That was that toe bomber. That's going to be out there. Giddy up. Just. That sets up so good, doesn't it?
I love it, yeah. And it's like, you'll see, like some of the big guys basically just take them over those two cactuses on the left and just play a little cut over them. It's crazy to watch. Like
the Michael Phelpses of golf.
Yeah, correct. watching some of the plus handicappers hit off of this tee box, or like what they do on 15, which is a par 5. It's just, they're a Costco ahead of me.
But that's understanding as well, the ball flight, and again, the cut is always going to have a little bit more control. We talked about that on approach shots. It's like the cut can give you a little bit safer landing.
Correct.
And you take one side of the golf course.
Correct.
Good stuff.
Course management, baby.
All right, we got 200 to go long. I always like to take that number first.
Okay.
You're kind of past that, but I think a lot of golfers don't embrace the back edge of the green.
Yeah, for sure.
171, which is the front edge, which is important because I never played here, but you could tell me. It looks like there's a bit of a drop off to the right.
Correct. Huge ridge on the right side.
So it's kind of, the reason this is a great hole is we're hitting the shot with the ball above our feet, but I feel like you need to fade it in there.
Correct.
So it's tough.
Correct.
We got the golf ball slightly above our feet, slightly into breeze. 200 long is always the number I take, and I guess that's probably why you've grabbed your rescue club here. But we're having a little talk off camera. We're looking at the man bun giving us a bit of wind direction. Like 188 flag, 173 front. I think you could probably get there with that 790, right? With the
I think I can hit 5-iron there. Yeah.
And that is the beauty of these clubs, the way they come out. I mean, bar the demonstration, you'll have to see if you're up for that. But
let's see what we got here.
Would you ever try and fade this one?
Typically, like for me, like I'm playing what shot I'm hitting that day.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like if I am drawing it a little bit, like I don't like seeing a draw shape. Like my eyes don't like that. But if I am hitting that, then yeah, I might start this a little right of the stick and just have confidence and make a good swing, right? Because that's what my ball flight's been doing all day. If not, then I'm gonna end up, or if it's cutting, then I'm just gonna start a little bit left of it and hopefully just peel it in.
Go for it. Good shot. Great shot.
Thanks.
That's
Down.
money.
Down.
It's a lot of bat, isn't it? It's deceiving because of the temperature, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe it's 6-iron or hammer 7.
You know, I can't get there with 7. It's
I think you could. I mean, I just flew this to the back of the green.
All right, we'll go 7.
I think it's a stick. You're right. Swallow it. You're welcome. I'll be your caddy any day. Told him to hit 7. Oh, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll take a kick in birdie.
I wasn't sure that was going to get there.
If you want to hit 6, you can hit 6 all day.
You're good at this, buddy. Great job.
Thanks.
Great job.
Thank you.
This is Tee Time with Trottie. We've moved to the approach shot here at 18. I have Michael Phelps with me. He's going to talk to us about how he controls these off-speed pitch shots, what he gets from the TP5X golf ball, how he loves his mill grind 4 wedge, and what we can learn from his game as we go into our fittings.
So, I mean, for me, it's the same kind of shot basically I just had on that previous green. Like for me, I'm taking a 54 here. Again, I'm taking a little bit bigger of a swing, right? But it's the same kind of idea. I'm picking a spot, you know, just over that little ridge and letting it just release and do its thing.
You haven't asked me for any, you know I've got a Sky Caddy on me for numbers. You haven't asked me anything about yardages or anything. All feel?
I mean, again, I know what this shot is because I've hit this shot. I've had layups to here, so I know what this shot is. But typically, anything under 100 yards, it's a feel shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. How much does the immediate shot before impact the outcome of the next, or what you do to the next shot?
When I'm out practicing, it doesn't. I'm hard on myself naturally, so if I hit, you know, if I shank one, if I pull one, like all these different things, like I'm more just upset at myself, and I might say like, oh my God, like you're better than that. No, that wasn't good. Do something better next time, or like, slow yourself down.
Is that internal though?
Mhm,
Because
yeah.
you externally haven't changed since the moment I met you.
Yeah, no, everything's internal. Like if I get quick through a shot, I'm like, okay, tempo, tempo, tempo. Like I don't need to murder. Like I don't need to literally feel like I'm trying to swing as hard as I can, because at that point, then I lose all control.
Having everything internal, is that something that you've always tried to do in your whole career rather than reveal anything?
Yeah, I've talked to myself. I've created my own stories in my own head, just like Jordan did, right? Like Michael Jordan did in Last Dance, when he was telling you he can create stories in his head. I'm the same way, right? Like I can create basically I could look at this shot and say, okay, what's the worst shot I can hit? What's the best shot I can hit? And what's a mediocre shot? I'm like, all right, cool. Like I can squirt one and it can go right into the wash here. I can muscle one and it's going to go into the back bunker. I can blade it, it's going to be off the back of the green. Or what if I hit a good one? So then like naturally my thought or my head is ready for any shot that comes. Visualization was huge for me like throughout my career. And I wanted to be absolutely prepared for anything that happened. But like on a golf course, like I don't know if I would do that. But I think that could be a way that we could take out all of those other thoughts to be able to get above the ball and just be like, okay, like I was saying before, just be athletic, right? Like I know how to hit this shot. I know how to swing a 54-degree wedge. Just do it.
The consistency through the turf though, from the golf ball and from the club, is that something that, again, the fitting gave you trust for?
Correct. I mean, like that's, again, like, you know, for me, like throughout my career, when I was swimming, you know, the products that I used, they gave me the ability to feel like I was being me and my normal self on the block, right? And if you're being your authentic self, then you have the best way to have the best results. If I'm comfortable with this stuff, I know I can walk up to any shot and know exactly what it should do. But now it's just executing it. I am cutting it.
Good though.
That one's fine, I'd take that.
How much time is put into equipment for swimming, and what's the process like in comparison to the fitting for golf?
For me, like when I was training or competing, I would go through suit testing, and that's going into a flume and testing out where the hot points are on your body, like where's the water really hitting it and giving it resistance. So my suit for my whole career was basically made to my body. Like I have a 30-inch inseam. I have short legs. I'm 6'4". I'm all upper body. So my waist and the size of my legs, basically there was an MP size. It was a mix between a 26 and a size 27. So I had everything that fit my body perfectly for the compression where I needed it, when I needed it. And then cap and goggles, same way. Like, right, we all have different shaped heads, different amount of hair. So we don't want any ripples on our cap, because that acts like a speed bump. So going through, again, the flume and testing all that stuff. And then with the swimming goggles, I just want to be able to see peripherally. If I can see that way, I'm great. So we've created a lens to be able to see absolutely everything across.
So you can see...
I can see where people are.
Okay.
Yeah. Without changing, like underwater, if I'm kicking off the wall, I can look left or right and see where they are without changing my body position. So I'm able to keep in tight body position, good body position, and still be able to be aware of what's going on around me.
Why is the awareness of your opponent so important in a sport that's so much about, like, if you're doing you, no one's getting near you?
Yeah, correct. But I know how every single person competes. So I know how they swim the first 50. I know how they swim the second 50, third 50, whatever it might be. So in a 100-yard race, I know who has the front speed and who I need to either be close to, or if I'm ahead of, I'm like, all right, cool, everything's going to plan. Then I can just kind of get into my stroke and just be.
So the thought of custom golf clubs for you, it's not, like, people out there watching this might not even be thinking about getting custom. Like, why do I need custom golf clubs? I mean, it's an absolute, right?
You have, like, without question, like for me, when I first bought my very first set of golf clubs, I just walked into a store and bought them because I wanted to go out and play with my friends. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just wanted to go hang out with my buddies. That's it, nothing else. And once I got more interested and obsessed with the game, then I started realizing maybe I need help with my grip, my takeaway. Maybe the shaft isn't the right shaft, right? Like, all of these small, intricate things that are going to end up giving you the best chance to play golf. And again, like for me, it's not one fitting and done. My body is ever changing. My strength is ever changing. My speed is ever changing. So I want to make sure I'm up to date. My body is up to date with the clubs that I'm playing. So it's always a new test, a new fitting, just to make sure again, I want a chance to be good on this golf course. If I'm not doing what I should be doing with the club or with practicing or whatever, I'm not giving myself the best chance. And that's all I want.
Awesome. Awesome.
So let's hit a good shot here. Wind went down a little bit.
Picks, what does that make you? Is like any impact there?
For me, honestly, the one thing I would think about looking at this ball is making sure my eyes stay on the ball. Because I can pick one of the targets and just sit and stare at that ball and do what I'm supposed to do.
Do you know that almost word for word, you're the second high-level athlete that said that to me about picks?
Oh, for real?
And they said to me, they're in a different sport, they're in soccer, but they're like, use picks because you have so much information from so many different people that you are so messed up.
It's so true, right? Like there's so many times where you see people pick their head up and they're like, why do I do that? Why did the ball flight do that? Well, just keep your eye on the ball, right? Like, there's 100 different reasons why it's doing it, but let's start with that.
Okay, picks it is. Shot. Good.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you.